Boa tarde a todas, boa tarde a todos. Vamos dar início agradecendo a presença de todos vocês, ao Colóquio Internacional Cicero e a Religião Romana. E para compor a mesa de abertura, bom, eu sou Cláudia Beltrão, da Unirio, ele é o professor Federico Santangelo, da Newcastle University, e para compor a mesa de abertura, eu chamo agora o professor Pedro Caldas, coordenador do Programa de Pós-Graduação em História da Unirio, e a professora doutora Evelyn Orrico, nossa pró-reitora de Pós-Graduação e Pesquisa. Please. Pois então, é com grande alegria que eu abro esse colóquio, que corresponde, é uma das atividades de um projeto internacional, que vem sendo realizado por mim e pelo professor Federico Santangelo, na Newcastle University e na Unirio também. E nós trabalhamos nesse projeto com o tema das imagens dos deuses e os discursos de Cícero sobre as imagens dos deuses e os debates da República Tardia sobre a religião romana. Eu vou passar, esse projeto tem o financiamento da British Academy pelo Newton Fund, é um Newton International Advanced Fellowship, e os agradecimentos em geral, eu vou passar rapidinho a palavra para o professor Santangelo, e eu agradeço especificamente a todos vocês aqui presentes, a British Academy, a Newcastle University, a Unirio e a Escola da Magistratura do Estado do Rio de Janeiro, que está apoiando o evento e cedeu esse espaço para sua realização. Eu passo, então, primeiro a palavra para o Dr. Santangelo.
Muito obrigado, Cláudia. Thank you very much again to you and to your colleagues for your hospitality over the last 10 days or so, and indeed thanks to all of you for your presence here today. I think I should take very quickly the opportunity, on the one hand, to restate our thanks, also on Claudia's behalf, to the British Academy for supporting the research project from which this colloquium stems, and for awarding us a Newton Advanced Fellowship that over the next 3 years will enable Claudia, in the first place, to pursue a large-scale study of the representations of the gods in Cicero, mainly focusing on statues. Within the framework of this relatively new program, the Newton Advanced Fellowship Scheme, run by the British Academy, researchers from a number of countries across the world, including Brazil, have the opportunity to spend extended periods of time in the UK, working on a research project in close association with a British or indeed UK-based colleague. Well, the UK host, in this case myself, also has the very most welcome opportunity to spend some time in Brazil, getting to meet Dr. Beltrão's colleagues, getting to experience firsthand the work that is being done at Unirio and indeed at other Brazilian institutions. And as part of this 3-year program, we undertook to run 3 international conferences, one for each year of the project, here in Rio de Janeiro, on aspects that are directly related to the project that Claudia is pursuing. We felt that the most suitable opening act for this was a colloquium on Cicero and Roman religion. Indeed, it is through this general, sort of wide-ranging exploration of Cicero's engagement with Roman religion, or indeed religions, as we should perhaps say, we are starting our exploration, indeed, of what Cicero has to say on divine representations, on the representation of the gods. Two more conferences will follow, again in Rio in 2018 and 2019. Like this colloquium, the colloquium that is starting today, they will involve the participation of Brazilian colleagues from other South American countries. We are very pleased to have a colleague from La Plata, Argentina, joining us for this colloquium. And we're also very pleased to be able to rely on the presence and participation of two more colleagues from Britain, Professor Greg Wolfe and Dr. Valentina Arena, both from London. The same format will be reproduced in the years to come. I should, however, say that really the wider aim of the Newton Advanced Fellowship Scheme, and indeed of the project that we have embarked upon, is to build new opportunities for shared work, for collaboration, for intellectual exchange between Brazilian and British researchers. Not just between British and Brazilian researchers working on Roman religion, but more generally across the field of classical studies, which is clearly going through some very exciting developments in this country, and which is, in its own way, building on a very different tradition, on a very different background, going through very exciting changes, at least in some respects, in the UK. We very much understand this colloquium, and indeed the two colloquia that will follow, as an opportunity to enable this web of exchanges that we very much hope will continue and indeed be strengthened further after the 3 years of this project. For this opportunity, we're very grateful to the British Academy and the Newton Fund, and we are at the same time indeed very grateful for your presence here today. Thank you very much.
Antes de passar a palavra para o professor Pedro Caldas, coordenador da pós de História da Unirio, eu apresento a todos a professora Somedeiros, que é a nossa tradutora e intérprete, que acabou de chegar aqui, então ela vai nos ajudar um pouco durante as conferências. Tá? E então passo a palavra, por favor, para o professor Pedro Caldas. Obrigada por estar aqui.
Eu que agradeço, Cláudia. Bom, boa tarde. Em nome do Programa de Pós-Graduação em História da Unirio, gostaria não só de agradecer, mas, sobretudo, parabenizar esse belíssimo esforço que Cláudio Beltrão e o Frederico Santangelo estão fazendo para trazer esse colóquio aqui para o Rio de Janeiro. Não está ouvindo? Não. Bom, melhorou? Obrigado. Bom, então, repetindo, para ser bem breve, em nome do Programa de Pós-Graduação em História, gostaria de agradecer a presença de todos e de todas e parabenizar o esforço que a professora Cláudia Beltrão e o professor Frederico Santangelo estão fazendo, né, e tenho certeza que esse colóquio será excelente e vai contribuir muito para a pesquisa de todos. Obrigado, Cláudia.
Passo então a palavra para a professora doutora Evelyn Orrico, pró-reitora de pós-graduação e pesquisa da Universidade Federal do Estado do Rio de Janeiro, agradecendo a presença aqui.
Muito obrigada, professora Cláudia. Boa tarde a todas e todos. É para mim, na qualidade de hoje pró-reitora da Universidade, uma grande honra estar aqui presente e colaborando nessa abertura de um evento dessa magnitude. Os estudos clássicos são sempre importantíssimos para que a gente prossiga os nossos conhecimentos, inclusive para a nossa contemporaneidade, né? Eu queria parabenizar o grande esforço da professora Cláudia Beltrão e do professor Frederico Santangelo nesse processo e dizer que a Unirio tem vindo nos últimos tempos, trabalhando muito numa tentativa da qualificação cada vez maior dos nossos programas de pós-graduação, e nisso o programa de História é um exemplo, e também e, sobretudo, nas ações de internacionalização. Então, este evento, para nós hoje na Pró-Reitoria e para a Reitoria como um todo, na presença do nosso magnífico reitor, professor Jutuca, e do professor Ricardo, nosso vice-reitor, é, de fato, mais uma atividade de grande importância nesse caminho que a Unirio vem tentando na qualificação dos seus programas e na internacionalização das suas pesquisas. Essa oportunidade de troca, como o professor Frederico Santangelo comentou, para nós é de extrema importância, porque sabemos também da qualidade do que fazemos, mas estamos abertos e ansiosos para receber os nossos colegas de outros países, né? Então, eu quero parabenizar pela iniciativa, me senti bastante contente se eu puder estar aqui no próximo, que já vi que serão mais 2, terei muito prazer em estar de novo, e desejar que vocês tenham um evento, tenho certeza que terão um evento de boas discussões e que vão aproveitar bastante. Parabéns.
Eu agradeço a todos os componentes dessa mesa e declaro aberto o Colóquio Internacional Cícero e a Religião Romana. Então, a mesa vai sair, né? E vai se desfazer, e eu vou chamar, Federico vai apresentar a professora Valentina Arena, da University College London. Vamos sair, você apresenta. Isso.
Well, there are some scholars, some researchers that have the good fortune of having their name closely, inextricably associated with a very important word. Valentina Arena is one of those people, and she also has the further fortune of having her name very closely associated with a beautiful word, liberty, libertas, as the Romans put it. Her 2012 monograph on libertas in the Roman Republic is the cornerstone of any future attempt to further understand what freedom meant or might have meant in the Roman world, well beyond the Roman Republic. But it is only part of a much wider set of contributions that Valentina has been making over the last decade or so to our understanding of Roman political culture and practice. She's a graduate of the University of Florence and of University College London, where she did a PhD under the supervision of Michael Crawford.
Like you?
Yes, it's our we have the great pleasure of sharing the same alma mater, don't we? She's now at University College London, continuing a most distinguished tradition of research and teaching on Roman history, and especially on the history of the late Roman Republic. Her contribution today takes us, I think, right at the core of the problem that we shall explore during this colloquium, Cicero and Roman religion. And at the same time, it takes us into a territory that is in many ways related to the set of problems that Valentina has been exploring over the last few years, problems of political culture and practice, and indeed of the endlessly complex and fraught relationship between practice and culture. Cicero and the Power of Religious Knowledge is her title this afternoon. We're greatly looking forward to hearing her thoughts on this problem. Valentina, over to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, let me begin by thanking Claudia and Federico for the kind invitation, and most of all, Claudia, really for the warmest welcome and the wonderful organization, really. Now, my focus today will be Cicero de Legibus, a work that Cicero certainly conceived, if not composed, in the late 50s, alongside the Republica, the other political treaties on the Commonwealth. While, thanks to Cicero's correspondence, the dates of the composition of the De Republica are well known, the dates of the De Legibus are rather uncertain, and it seems highly probable that Cicero never finished his work and certainly never published it. As he says in the letter to Quintus, Cicero's aim in writing the De Republica was to write about the best form of government and the best citizen, and in the De Legibus, as he himself states in his work, was to provide the laws governing the life of this very Commonwealth. So from their inception, the two works seem to be conceived together and as part of a sole project, and mirroring, as Cicero himself tells us, Plato's binomial of republic and laws. Now, today, I'm going to take as my starting point two fundamental questions. First of all, what is the nature of the laws of religion, leges religionis, as Cicero calls them, in the second book of the De Legibus? And secondly, what was Cicero doing by discussing these religious laws that he chooses in the manner in which he does? Although, as Dyke notes in his 2004 commentary, the De Legibus has attracted less scholarly attention than its counterpart, the De Republica, in recent years, scholars working on late Republican religion, as well as intellectual history of the late Republic, have given considerable prominence to this work, giving it, therefore, pride of place in a wider intellectual trend of cultural systematization. Thus, Claudia Moiti, in her 1997 seminal work that is recently appeared in English translation with a new preface by the author, as well as an introduction by Malcolm Schofield, sets Cicero's work in the context of an intellectual movement of rationalization, while in 2012, her premises have been further elaborated by Georg Rübke within a